Hello, welcome to the first edition of Boring Talks for Sleep. And that is exactly what this is, a boring yap session for sleep. Um, and today we're going to learn about how soap was made, how soap is made. I haven't ever looked this up myself, and I find it very interesting how soap is made. I want to know this. I don't know myself. And by the way, you are all in my closet right now. I am sitting in my closet and I am just yapping away about how soap is made. I don't know this. I want to know this. And I hope you all are ready to learn this with me how soap is made. As you can see, I have a makeshift chair here. I've got my pillow back here for back support. You're probably like, why don't you have a chair? I'm getting that eventually. I will be getting that. Once I have the funds of to get something of that nature, I will be getting that. A chair or something of the sort. But yeah, speaking of chairs, I saw this really cool gaming chair and I was like, I really want that chair. I really want it. It's like a neon, pretty gamer esque. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen like the typical gaming chairs and things like that. Like this chair was pretty gamer esque. So I'm like, wow, I want this chair. I really do. That might be a topic for another video, how chairs are made. But anyway, let's get to the content of this video, this yap session. How is soap made? Asking my handy dandy AI here, how is soap made? And I'm hoping it brings me back in there. Yes. Oh, check this out, guys. Soap is made through a chemical reaction called sap saponification. Saponification. Okay. Where fats or oils react with an alkali like lye or sodium hydroxide. So it's a reaction to alkali, which reminds me of a song by Sleep Token, Alkali. I don't know how many Sleep Token fans we have in the chat or in the audience or whatever, but Alkaline is a very great song by Sleep Token if you haven't heard it. If you haven't heard of Sleep Token, it's a very great band. So we have saponification where it reacts to fats or oils with an alkali, which is like a lye or a sodium hydroxide. Very interesting. This reaction transforms the fats and oils into soap like glycerin or glycerol. Glycerin or glycerol. I probably said that right the second time. Glycerol. Interesting. The ingredients, and this is the ingredients part of the soap. The primary ingredients are fats or the primary ingredients are fats or oils like animal fats, vegetable oil. Interesting too. I love a good vegetable oil. I mean, just can definitely use that to cook. I've used that to cook various times. Coconut oil, very great the hair and other parts of the body also. Coconut oil, vegetable oil. So far, I mean, the soap, so far, soap is made with some pretty gnarly and rad ingredients. Hell yeah, vegetable oil. I mean, you see, I mean, there's animal fat too. However, you feel about that. I'm pretty sure there are soaps without animal fat. I'm going to guess it is the vegan type of soap. So if you are a vegan or anything of that nature, I'm pretty sure there are vegan soaps with no animal fat, and you would just have the vegetable oil and the coconut oil and things like that, and an alkali like sodium, like we said before, hydroxide. So we have that and the ingredients. Now let's get to the saponification of the soap. I am going down the list here of my handy dandy AI. Speaking of AI, I mean this stuff is like, it's really great that we can. That would suck if this wasn't recording. Is it recording? It is. It is recording. Imagine if this wasn't recording. Holy shit! I would be like, wow! I just yapped all that time and it didn't even. Let me take a sip of my water here, which is I mix lemonade and water together, which is what I drink. I can't do water by itself. I know it's healthier, but I mean it is what it is, right? We have to. I have to get my sugar intake some sort of way, or else it would be a conundrum if I didn't. If I did not have sugar in my water, it would be a conundrum for sure. A very big conundrum. Anyway, let's. Oh, yeah. Brought to you by sugar water or lemonade water. So, yes, let's get to the point, the saponification of the soap. And I read, the alkali reacts with the fats and the oils, breaking them down into fatty acids and glycerol, or glycerol, however you would like to say that. The fatty acids then combine with the alkali to form soap. So it forms with the alkali, guys. The fat, it it breaks it down into fatty acids and glycerol or glycerol, and the fatty acids then combine with the alkali to form soap, while the glycerol is released. Interesting. Okay. So that is the saponification of the soap, according to Google AI. Very interesting stuff. So next time you use soap, just know that it went through a type of saponification. Interesting. Procedures. I'm at the procedures part of the AI response now. There are two main methods for soap making. Cold process. Interesting. So, oils and lye are mixed at room temperature. Room temperature, not sun temperature, not very extreme cold temperatures, like no Nordic type temperatures. Room temperatures, very common. So I'm guessing room temperature is something like what is the temperature if you're still up and you're still watching this, leave in the comments what is your room temperature. Do you like it really hot or really cold? I prefer it to be really cold. My room temperature. I'm not a very big fan of the heat. I am not. So anyway, cold process. Oils and lye are mixed together at room temperature, causing a slow, gradual saponification reaction that can take up to 48 hours, so approximately 2 days. 48 hours is 2 days for anyone who was wondering. I mean, I know there may be some people who don't know that. Well, now you do. 48 hours is 2 days. And speaking of time, did you know that a fortnight is 2 weeks? So I would like to, sometimes I like to make the joke when people ask me to play Fortnite, I will say, I haven't played Fortnite in a fortnight, which is, I think, approximately 2 weeks. But in reality, I haven't played Fortnite in a long ass time, way more than 2 weeks. But I like to make that joke because it's funny. Fortnite, playing Fortnite in a fortnight, which is approximately 2 weeks. Fun little factoid. Fun little factoid for you guys there. Yeah, a fortnight is 2 weeks, and 48 hours is 2 days. Yeah. So, anyway, back to where I was. The cold process, I will read that again in case you all missed it. Oils and lye are mixed at room temperature, causing a slow, gradual saponification reaction that can take up to 48 hours. And there's a hot process too. We're getting to the hot process. So first there's a cold process, and then there is a hot process. And the hot process, the oils and lye are heated to accelerate personifications. So the heat speeds up the process of the saponification and can produce soap more quickly. We have to have our soap produced quickly because, of course, these soap makers, they have to, I'm sure they have deadlines that they have to make. I mean, you have to get your product out in the stores, and if you don't, that can cause a conundrum, of course. That I mean, you have to have people using your products. So the hot process is very great for getting your product out there faster. As it says, the oils and lye are heated to accelerate saponification and can produce soap more quickly, but it requires more careful monitoring. Because, of course, it's heat. I mean, heat is it can be a very dangerous thing. So, of course, it would need careful monitoring from the staff or whomever is in charge of the hot process of making the soap. I'm gonna take another sip on my my lemonade water here. I'm gonna take another sip there. I hope you all are doing well. Of course, I hope you're vibing out. I hope you're all that jazz. But yeah. But anyway, that is pretty much the process of soap. Now, of course, there are optional ingredients that I'm reading from my handy dandy AI. Other ingredients like essential oils for fragrance, natural colorants or exfoliants. Of course, we need that for our soap, exfoliants to exfoliate the skin. Natural colorants, of course, like you have soap that's white, soap that's orange, soap that's purple. I mean, I've never seen purple soap. If there is purple soap, especially neon purple soap, I would love to have it. Because I mean, neon purple is definitely one of my favorite colors. Neon anything, neon purple, neon um, yellow, neon colors. It's a very cyberpunk type of genre of colors, and I love that aesthetic. I would love to, and besides, I saw neon. I I have I had my pizza turned to a neon color, but that is a story for another time. It was a very interesting time in Las Vegas, but I will get to that. Yeah, my pizza turned neon purple, but I will explain that in another video. Yeah, but I will read that to you again because I got sidetracked. That was a digression. I digressed. But let me get back on the path to success. Digression. Other ingredients like essential oils for fragrance. Of course, fragrance. You have to have your soap smelling great. That's the whole point. Um, I, you know, there's definitely some cool natural fragrances: frankincense, myrrh. Um, Gosh, what's the one that's my favorite one? The lavender. Lavender. You can't go wrong with lavender. Gosh. I remember when I had my diffuser. I would love to put lavender in my diffuser. Frankincense and myrrh, of course. Um, Very. I'm gonna start singing Scarborough Fair here. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Frankincense, myrrh, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I know those are completely different things. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme are things that you use to cook with, but for some reason, when I said frankincense and myrrh, that just brought that to my head. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I love that song, by the way. Scarborough Fair, a pretty great song. There's um, some pretty good bands have covered that song. By the way, that song is like hundreds of years old. If you didn't know, Scarborough Fair. My favorite cover of it is by a band called My Dying Bride. My Dying Bride does a beautiful rendition of Scarborough Fair. Also, gosh, what is the guy's name? It's two. I don't know if they're brothers or what, but they also have a cover of Scarborough Fair. What is their name? Oh gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Um, Blankets and breakfast, the child of the mountain. What is their name? I'll have to research it, but I'm going to do that when I finish the soap, because I have to know that now because uh. But yes, in essence, soap is a salt of fatty acids formed by the reaction of fats slash oils and alkali. You can watch this video to learn more about soap making, and it shows a video down there at the bottom. So yeah, that is how soap is made. That is pretty much the gist of how soap is made. Um, yeah. Um, it's pretty. I found that pretty interesting. I don't know about you all, but I loved it. I really enjoyed reading about the process of soap. It's amazing how there's a saponification, there's, and everything is a reaction. Of course, just such as life, as above, so below. Everything is a reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. I believe that is Newton's law, I think. But yeah, this is, so everything is a reaction. The oils react to the alkali, the lye, the sodium hydroxide, the the uh, the uh, glycerin, the uh, the uh, the uh, the glycerol. Some hard words for me to say, but I said it. All of this, all of these things react together to make soap. Everything is an act. Everything is a reaction to the action, and that is the reaction to the action of mixing all of these ingredients together, and that is how you get your beautiful soap. Um, and now I have to see what who made, because it's on the tip of my tongue. Scarborough Fair. Who covers that? Scarborough. It's two brothers. I don't know if they're brothers. Oh gosh. I don't know if they're brothers, but they're two singers. Oh man, who are they? Simon and Garfunkel. That's their name. Simon and Garfunkel. I love them. Absolutely love them. Their rendition of Scarborough Fair. Um, My Dying Bride also does an amazing rendition of it. But yeah, that song is. Matter of fact, let's see. How old is Scarborough Fair? How old is the song? Is the song Scarborough Fair? I think it's a couple of 100 years old. Oh, it dates back to the 1600s. Wow, 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 wow. Possibly even earlier. While the exact origins are unclear, it is an English ballad that has been adapted and modified many times over the centuries, which is true. The market fair in Scarborough, Yorkshire, is the inspiration for the song. Nice. The origins, the origins of the song. The song's origins are uncertain, but it's a traditional English ballad that has been around for a long time. Some sources suggest the song's roots go back to the 1600s, with similar ballads from the 17th and 18th centuries referring to the fair in Scarborough, thus Scarborough Fair. Um, the song has been adapted and rewritten many times. I'm reading from AI, of course, with different versions existing by the end of the 18th century. The most famous version is the one by the duo Simon and Garfunkel. I love them. Which was released in 1966. Wow, I wasn't even thought of. I was someone else, most likely. I was a reincarnated version of someone else, and became even more popular after appearing in the movie the the Graduate. I've never seen it. 1968. I will have to watch this movie, the the Graduate. I'm a big fan of older movies, the movies that are in black and white and things like that. TCM. I used to love TCM. I if it, That is one thing that I plan on doing when I get an income. I plan on getting my TCM subscription back. I had a subscription. I watch all of the older movies. Especially the old noir movies, the detective noir movies. I Something so cool about the black and white detective movies, film noir, as they call it. Some of my favorite video games are in noir. Actually, The Wolf Among Us, one of my favorite. I would classify that as neo noir. A very great noir video game. What's the other one? LA Noir. LA Noir, right in the name, actually. Noir. LA Noir. I love that one too. I'm gonna take a sip of my water here. LA Noir. But yeah, the song is about a market fair in Scarborough, Yorkshire, which was a gathering of merchants and tradespeople. So it was a gathering of merchants, like people would buy and sell and participate in capitalism at this fair, buying and selling. Um, yeah, and they called it and it was in Scarborough, Yorkshire, which is, like I said, that why the name is called Scarborough Fair, because it was a fair in Scarborough. Interesting stuff, and here's a picture of Simon and Garfunkel here. No, wait, no, that is a, yeah, that is a picture of Simon and Garfunkel at the bottom there. Interesting. Um, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, if you haven't heard of Simon and Garfunkel, I would definitely encourage you all to check it out. Let's see what this Quora post says about the song. Um, Going on Quora. I used to the I came from the era of Yahoo Answers. Then Quora took over. Yahoo Answers is very nostalgic for me. Showing my age here. I'm showing my age here. Definitely a fan favorite in the early 2000s, and then Quora came along, which I like Yahoo Answers better. Um, um, it it to me was better. Quora is pretty good too, but I think there are some aspects to it to where you have to pay. Um, Yahoo Answers did not have a paywall that I can remember, but yeah, this person here. It seems that the origin of Scarborough Fair will remain hidden in the midst of time. It is clearly an English folk song. The actual fair at Scarborough was an annual trading fair which lasted for 45 years. Starting on August 15th, it was granted a charter in 1253 and ran until 1788, when competition from other fairs made it untenable. Untenable. Riddles and impossible tasks date back to prehistory. Ballads with similar impossible tasks are most likely as old. A ballad similar to Scarborough Fair dates from 1670 in the form of the Elfin Knight, a Scottish ballad. We don't know if the Simon and Garfunkel version of Scarborough Fair was around at the time. We do know that several variants were in existence in the parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme refrain. Refrain. Like maybe that was meant to say. Maybe that was meant to say a reference. It's found in the 19th C version. It could be that the song was. It could be that the song was written after the fair ceased trading in 1788, adding to the impossible tasks in the song. The use the use of the refrain. I just learned something new there. Um, Partially sage is an enigma. It doesn't appear to have any connection to the rest of the song. It could be argued that the herbs were for sale at the fair. I think that they were. I think that they are just a variation on tra la 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 or hey nani nani no. Edit. Traditionally, the herbs have the following associations: parsley, festivity; sage, wisdom and immortality; rosemary, remembrance; thyme, courage and strength. This may have something to do with the choice of herbs for the refrain. Quite a number of musicians recorded their version of Scarborough Fair before Simon and Garfunkel. Anyway, that will wrap that up there. A first episode of Boring Talks for You to Sleep. I will have a better name for this eventually when I get my microphone. I might call it Wasping. Whisper yapping, unless you prefer this, where I don't whisper. A lot of whispering in the ASMR community, which I understand why, but maybe I can just do this. Wow, I yapped for 33 minutes. Yeah, we are going to end it there. Hope you enjoyed. I hope that was boring enough for you. I've been told that I'm a pretty boring speaker, so I hope that was boring enough for you, and I hope that you are sound asleep and ready to start your day tomorrow or today or whatever time frame you are in. All right, that's about it, and peace out.